Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. It's the morning after the game and I'll jump on again. I did it last week and there's a few things to say that I didn't say last night on the review. There's still a bit of blood in boiling in my body. There's still a little bit of anger in me. I thought it would have gone, but it's just still the opportunity's gone, and it's just bugging me a little bit. But before we do get into it, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you are new. That'd be very much appreciated. And leave a comment if you can. And let's get straight on into it then. This is called Talking Tactics, so what I'm going to do is kind of, let's start with the starting lineup because I think that's what we all wanted to see. I think some people would have put Fornals in there over Bowen, but Fornals was out. But I think that's pretty much our perfect lineup for Ogbonna in there, and obviously he's not back from injury yet. So I think that's the best. That's the best lineup Moyes could have put out with his choices, and they paid him back in the first 35 minutes when we went 3-0 up. We were superb. I put in the title and in the thumbnail. Benrahma and Lingard partnership is just going on the bottom there. Benrahma and Lingard partnership. We've seen 2 times for one game and for about 35 minutes a masterclass from Benrahma and Lingard. I mean, we did it against Aston Villa for a whole game, and that was superb. That 3-1 win at Villa Park was superb. That's the best we've seen West Ham play for a long, long time with Lingard in there. That was superb. And the first 35 minutes against Arsenal, I thought they were excellent, especially Lingard. Nobody could get near him. He was absolutely incredible. And he was... I was sat there and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe what I was watching because just the way we were just piercing through their defence. I mean, I hoped and expected that we were going to have these spells going through the game because we can. I said before the game we can get through that defence with the players, that front four, with Antonio, with Benrahma, Lingard, and Bowen. We could. There's the quality to get through the likes of David Luiz, but I think they got the goal back, didn't they? Just before half time, and I think that was a bit of the turning point in the game, if I'm being honest. And it was disappointing, but I mean, we sat here at halftime. Oh, it's all right. We'll handle it. It's a new West Ham, and then you can't take it away from Arsenal. They were superb in the second half. I think it was a game of 2 halves. We were outstanding in the first half. They were outstanding in the second half. We scored 3. They scored 3. That's what it was at the end of the day. But it's just disappointing that after 35 minutes we were 3-0 up, and we don't West Ham. We don't get in them positions very often, but to be in that position and it's just not chuck it away because I don't think we could have done a massive amount. I mean, I think we've seen better defensive performances, but I don't think Dawson or Diop did anything really wrong. I mean, they only scored 1 goal. We scored 2 goals for them. I mean, that Souček one was a bit. I mean, it was going over wide, but that was the unluckiest thing ever. And then Dawson couldn't have done anything because somebody was waiting beyond him to tap it in, and it just unfortunately fired into the back of the net. It's disappointing. That's 3 own goals in 2 games, but they couldn't have really done anything about it. It was kind of last gasp defending, I think. But it's just unlucky. I mean, Callum Chambers was outstanding for Arsenal, getting the balls in. I think he looks really dangerous. I think he looked better than Kieran Tierney, and I didn't expect that. I mean, he's had an ACL injury, Callum Chambers, and he's come back, and I thought he was superb. He was their best player by a long way, in my opinion. I'm just getting their balls in the box in that second half constantly. I think we could have scored another 1 in that first half, and I think we could have scored at least 1 or 2 in the second half. I mean, that would have got us to 6 or 7. I mean, the first one in the first half, I mean, Soufal, the one Soufal, somebody just say time because there was no one near him. If he would have just brought that down, slotted it in the corner, there was another goal there. I think Antonio should have scored 1 or 2. I think he would... that kind of sliding last gasp, just went past. That was unlucky. He couldn't have done much more with that. And then the one right at the end where he The bit of the tap-in was just disappointing. But the one thing I want to pick up on, though, is the Lingard chance. I think this is the game changer for me. It was 3-2 at the time. So what happened? I think it was Creswell or somebody got the ball. Lingard was making a run through the defence. Creswell passed it to Lingard, and Lingard was pretty much through on goal. And 9 times out of 10, you expect Lingard to whack that in the back of the net like he did against Spurs a couple of weeks ago. But John Moss brung it back for kind of a half free kick, a little bit of a free kick, a little bit of a like kick after on Creswell. Now we were through on goal, and as I said, Lingard, he's that type of player who he doesn't miss those chances, and it was just disappointing because I think that if it wasn't called back, I think I got no doubt in my mind that Lingard would have scored that, and it would have been 4-2, and I think the game would have been put to bed. But I think the refereeing was poor. I think in that second half, John Moss might as well took his refereeing stuff off and just put his Arsenal shirt on, because the amount of times he gave him a free kick and just giving us pointless yellow cards that it wasn't really a yellow card as well. But the last thing I want to touch on is the substitutions. Now, Bowen came off. I thought Bowen had a decent game, but I think Bowen came off and Mark Noble came on. Now, they were bringing pace on at the time with Smith Rowe. Martinelli was coming on. We were bringing on Mark Noble. They were bringing pace on. We were putting no pace on. And I think for me, I would have put Johnson there instead, because he's got a bit of pace. Just to kind of stack that left hand side, I think. But I could see what Moyes was doing, trying to stack the defence, but he needed to wait another 10 minutes to do that. Pat the defence, pat the midfield, sorry, and then go for it. And then Fredericks came on. He made a couple of bad, not bad errors, but he gave the ball away in dangerous positions a couple of times. He came off the side, Benrahma, just for another defender on the field. But I think it didn't work at the time. I mean, when the third goal went in, I honestly did think that they were going to go on and win it. I honestly did think that we weren't going to get a point. But we ended up getting the point, and we move on to Wolves next week. The Benrahma and Lingard partnership was superb. Let's hope we can see that very, very soon. And let's hope Moyes continues to do that front four, because if we play like that in the first 35 minutes in our last 9 games, we will get at least into that Europa League position. But we move on. We go into the international break on a bit of a downer now. But hey ho, Wolves after that. Let's hope we can get 3 points against Wolves. But thank you very much for watching. Check out Canning Town Lane using the link in the description down below for all of your custom portraits, customized exactly to you. And I'll be back very, very soon for a brand new video. Come on your minds, and goodbye.